you ready for another challenge? Alright, come over here. My next challenge is to make Redman 4. And what we're going to do is talk about Redman 4 and decide what we want to have in it. Okay? So, the high level, from what I recall, in the end of the last book, we said that Meowth was going to be the bad guy, and that he robbed the Barilla factory. And since you'll be 9, I want to have 9 play a big role in the book. Okay? Then, what you wanted to add, you've been reading a lot of Redwall books. Is it Redwall? Yeah. A castle scenery? Okay. Book 4, I called it time balls. So we're going to need some time balls. Somebody throws time balls, and that's what sends him back in time, okay? Gets hit by a time ball? You don't like that? Oh, the dragon would be gone. You still want dragons?
Sure, maybe.
Can there be big dragons? Fly around the castle?
Sure. I don't want any aliens this time.
No aliens. Good to know. How about if he runs inside of a Pokeball? I like that. You know what a Pokeball is?
Uh-huh.
Okay, good. Ends up on a farm? A carrot farm? You see where I'm going? No, you don't like that. Oh, I thought I was on something there. Solve 6 fiendishly difficult riddles. You want some riddles in here too?
A couple. Anyway, there's a lot of sneaky things.
Alright, anything else? Are we good for now? Okay, I probably lost you already, but that was a 30-minute discussion where we brainstormed about the book. Didn't include most of it because the audio was super terrible, but after I talked to him, I went and I read the Redwall book, Pearls of Lutra, something like that. And together with what we talked about and inspiration from the book, I came up with a rough outline. Some things I took from the book is riddles. There's going to be 9 riddles in this book because the Sphinx have 3, Redwall had 6, and he's turning 9, so that works. We're going to collect items, some dual plots. Redwall book had 2 different storylines going along at the same time. The riddles were, spoilers, essentially useless at the end. Sorry for this Z, I was typing on a German keyboard. Redwall also had a lot of death. Like, people were just dying left and right, which was kind of shocking to me. I haven't had any death in the book so far. I think I'm going to add that, but with a Pokemon twist, and people are going to faint after they get stabbed with a sword. And then visions of Blue Boy, obviously, are going to come to Redman instead of Matthias. Anyway, here is my outline. Each one of these is the bullet that's how I do stories. It's not that long, and honestly, it doesn't exactly make sense. So it needs to be fleshed out a little bit, and then I'm going to just start writing. I'm aiming for over 5,000 words. That's how long the last one was. I would like this to be more. I don't want to set a target if it's 10, but just more than 5. And that's it. Now I'm just going to type a lot and write the whole book. So this is the part where you draw the rest of the owl. Oh, all right, one more monster. Let's do a 5-minute time trial, and we'll end in 5 minutes, regardless of how many words that takes. Level up. I'm now level 8 and I have like one more sentence to go. So, and these belong to jail. Bam. Okay. I'm done the book. I typed 2,800 words today, 2,000 words yesterday. Good push at the end. In total, 11,700 words. That might shift around a little bit when I edit it, but probably not too much. I think it's pretty coherent and consistent. So I think the editing is just going to be like a missing word or typos or some grammar changes. No structural changes, really. Spoilers. And it took me 10 days to do it. So a lot longer than the second book. Don't know how much, but it was time well spent. Next up, you know the drill. I got to put it in a Word doc and go talk to the art department.
Oh, you want me to scan that to you?
No.
Can you read my scribbles?
You don't need to read the scribbles. It's just a highlight to show that they're there. And now I'm going to say, as an overlay in the video, that the pictures have been designed and laid out.
Got it.
And it takes an awful lot of paper to make the rough draft for these books. These are all for the pictures, some of the pictures, and I'm going to add a couple more pages and trace out the final version. I'll show you the leafy one. A few pages later, we have good versions of all of the pictures. Now I'm going to scan them and put them into the book. All right, the next step is I'm going to go through the book, editing as we go, and also inserting the pictures. So I go here, let's take picture 1 and edit it with paint. We'll zoom out. Select the area I want. Cut that, go into the Word doc, paste it in here, and as usual, word formatting is a pleasure to deal with. So I want to unanchor it from the text, is I think the easiest way to do it, and then just size it appropriately. So something like this, but then I'll make this line up with it. That kind of thing, for all 105 pages of the book. Next up is printing the book so that it can be colored in. The pages can be folded in half to have a book. After coloring comes assembling, where each page is going to get folded in half and then slid into a sleeve. And as long as the fold is on the right side and the holes are on the left, then the pages should be in the right order to assemble into the binder. And with this shove, the book is complete. Got all the pages in here and it's quite full. The next step is I need to take pictures of every page for the website version of the book. like this. Click, 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 click. And then I need to go to some point in the book and take out all of these, stick them in this binder, and keep them in here. Okay, while the art department is working, I am working on the next part. Since I didn't really include much of the book, you might not know what this is, but in the book there's going to be a lot of riddles. And when you read riddles, when you read riddles in a book, part of your brain wants to solve it, part of your brain knows that if you just keep reading, you'll get the answer. Not the case in this book. If you keep reading, you get to a point where you should be able to solve the riddle on your own. And now you're going to have to, because the second half of the book is going to be locked up in here. And then I got one of these fancy word locks. Assume like the password was stank or something. You're going to have to spell out stank, and that will unlock the next part of the book. Let's see if this works. I'm hoping that it will, but I don't know if it is or not. Hello? Okay, in theory, this is supposed to come out the other side of the box. Ooh, ooh, hey! And then bam! You're gonna have to answer the riddle to get the rest of the box. Genius, yeah? It was all just another day in the life of Redman. Now, at page 70-ish. Aha! I have it. And if you've been paying attention as the reader, you should have also hopefully gotten the answer. I never included the answer on the online, I guess. But you'll have to know it in person. Book 2. Oh. Yeah, no, I had it before. It was just that I still had that password in there. Alright, clearly that is unbreakable. Reset the password. Stick a Meowth on top. And that baby's wrapped. It's a month later. I forget how I ended the last scene, but I finished the book. I gave it to him. He read it. The last step is to finish this video and to add it to my website. So, before I make any changes to the website, I'm first going to run it, make sure that it works locally, and make sure that it works online. Because if my job taught me anything, it's first you should make sure something works before you make changes to it. I'm legally prevented from saying anything else about my former job, but that's a good idea. Okay, so we're good. Let's add it in here, chapter 4. Root, images, Redman's, book 3. Apparently they all need to be in JPEGs. Now let's look at the pictures I took. These are all luckily JPEGs as well. That's pretty great and unexpected. So I'll just move these over. Do I need to rotate them? I think yes. I don't know how to rotate it in like CSS, so we're going to select all. And let's just do 2. Maybe open, rotate. 1, 2, 3. Close. Yeah, that's what we'll do. Open. And of course this is a video. Shh. Well, not the video. 1, 2, 3. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? Instead of giving them all names, I'll just rename book 4. And then bam, we get them in order thanks to how that works. Unfortunately, these are not in order. It started at page 28, which is incredibly inconvenient, so we'll undo that. And try it here. Okay. That's better. Next, we want to go into the code for this. I got Redman book 4 here already. Let's remember what directories we're using. The controller for Redman. Let's check this real quick. Book ID is the only variable. I'm going to need an additional page ID this time because I want to reload it with a new thing. So I'm going to reload, instead of having all of it, you're going to click and it's going to reload the page every time. So we'll do this. Easy. Add a default value so I don't have to change any of the other ones. That's it for the controller. The data, I don't think I need this. Yep. The hub is, I don't need this. Migrations, I don't need. Models, I don't need. Views, I will need to change nothing on the home page, but something on the Redman homepage, obviously. Oh, that's what this is? Okay. I think we're going to do the same thing of just cluttering up one massive file. But this time, we will, of course, change the else I ain't write it yet to be book 5, book 2, or 3, or 4, whatever we're at. Else if ID equals 4. Then we want to add new stuff. Down at the bottom, we will add a new button. Book 5. We already know it's going to be called C balls because I discussed it with the nephew already. What style he wants book 5, and I know all kinds of information about it nice and early. We are going to change time balls to be question mark balls. No, I'm going to leave it time balls. I didn't call it time balls anywhere else. He said he doesn't like the name, but they go back in time, so like that's just what it is. It doesn't exist anywhere on the book. It doesn't say time balls, but we all know that it's time balls, so I'm adding that. And I'm deleting this white space because it's unnecessary. So, now let's test this. Actually, I think I might have another change I needed to do. We'll see if this works. Oh, it does. I was thinking I might need to do a change for the page, but I guess not. Book 5 should be saying I ain't write it yet, but it's still sending a 4 over. So 2 things to change. One is we want to change this to a 5, as well as up here. It's getting to the point where I'm annoyed that this is in 2 sections and not in all in one. And 2 is this column of 8 needs to increase. Let's make it a 10 because I don't like how the one button was cut off. 10 should make it be wide enough while still centering it. Redman's Still centered. Added here. I ain't write it yet. Bottom buttons work as well. Looks good. It's saying no, it doesn't like that. It's probably because it's in quotes that lets it rock. Or is it because I didn't capitalize it? Alright, let's check this to see if the page ID is coming through. It should just be defaulted to 1. And it is. This is good. So, my vision is to have the book, and then just like this, you see this next button? I want to have that, and the person sees these pictures based on the next buttons. So for the next button, I could just take a screenshot of this, but that would be illegal. So instead, I bought, for other reasons, I bought this, but I have assets. Okay, in my professional gamer folder, we have this 10K game assets folder, and I hate how it's all laid out, but there's one for icons. Nope. This is art that was, I don't know, some anti-AI here. Don't use AI images, use our images, which I wouldn't necessarily be against using AI to create me an arrow button, but since I have these, maybe I'll just use them. Oh, UI would have been a good spot. Arrow right, arrow left. These look good to me. So we're going to copy these and toss them in the book 4 folder. Is that the right spot for them? Honestly, don't really care. Should I change them to JPEGs? I will. I don't know if I can just like do that, but if I do it in Paint, I can. Ooh, I clicked that, not really thinking about it. Are JPEGs not transparent? I kind of need the clear background. Maybe we're just gonna make it work with PNGs, actually. Can you not do transparent background as JPEGs? I don't remember. Anyway, what do I want to do? I want to do a div. Let's put it all in a div. Let's open, and then this page ID, and then close .jpeg, and then before and after it, I want to have this. So let's just make this be here. No, that didn't work. Awkward. Arrow left. .png, and this will be arrow right. Now, obviously, I'm going to want them centered. What is centered on the page height-wise? And this did not do that, but let's just make sure it works. Left, book, right, perfect. Now, how do I get them to be hovering here and there? Or actually, first, let's add them so that the buttons work, because layout should come last, right? So, clicking left should decrement page ID. Clicking right should increment it. I have buttons right here. So this is the code for a button. So that's what I'll actually be using. Button, block, etc. How do I throw an image on it? We'll see. I'll think about that. Index, ASP route, ID equals 5 is, I think it's like this. Page ID. Maybe it's all lowercase. Equals Page ID +1. Let's see if this makes the right page work. Obviously I need to add bounds so that I can't go too many. Okay, this, well, I still have it set to be book 4. Page ID equals 2, whereas this is just 4. This is where it goes back into this routing thing, I believe. Should I call it ID 2? I think I should call it ID 2. And I think that if it's called ID 2, let's do a hot reload. I missed that. Changes were applied. I think this will just be /4/2, and yet it'll still work. So /4/2 is how it's coming through, but it's not being picked up as the page ID variable, which is a bit of a bummer. How about if I just do the index page for Redman? Not the index, the controller page for Redman. And we'll just make this ID 2. I was thinking originally that I would need to come up with a new rule for the this bad boy, a new routing rule, but maybe this works. Yeah, we can rebuild and apply. I know that I'm probably not supposed to have so many websites in the same website, so it's probably better if they just use all the same controls. So now we have a next page button. The previous page will do the same thing. We'll just subtract 1, as well as we'll just always force it to be, like, we'll have, I'll just define variables. Next page, previous page, and set them to be within hard-coded bounds. The next thing is to set this image to be the button. I don't know how to do that. Let me Google. Okay, I didn't actually create a button. This is an A and with the class of button. So let's just take this and we'll give it a class of a fluid image. All that nonsense. We'll see what this looks like. I absolutely love seeing my changes in seconds. It's fabulous. Again, I'm not allowed to make any comments about my job, but okay, so this didn't work, obviously. It's a link. So how do you make images links again? I guess I don't want this. I just want the image in the link. You'll excuse me for my terrible programming, but in my defense, it's kind of something you don't really have to think about when it's super easy. So I'm just not thinking. I'm just typing. Maybe this isn't a good defense, but this is what I'm using. So here's my image. I don't need a class for the A, hopefully. And I didn't change left to be right, but it is clearly a button and it works still. So that's good. Last thing to do is to get them lined up, and I'm going to do that by putting... Oh, this is annoying. I'm not enjoying this anymore. And I just had a thought. So throwing this as absolute rocks this here. The issue is that if I do this absolute, it's also here. And otherwise it goes down. What if I put it within the div of this one? So here's the picture div, and we're saying it's going to take all 12. Bottom 50 and end 0 should be here, which is what I did. And do I just need to like put this wrapper around this? Question mark? What does that do? It's freaking genius is what it does. Okay, so that's good in that it gives me the size back. I still would like to figure out this size issue. And just is top lower? I want the lower one. Okay, we're getting there. We'll be invisible when it's on the side. So now the only thing is the trailer. How to get that working. Okay, I stumbled upon the answer. All I had to do was delete the div around the picture because, yeah, I wanted it to act like it wasn't positioned absolute. The answer is you remove the position absolute, and the relatives, or these are absolute on top of it. I don't know. It all makes sense. This is how it looks. Goes like this. Oh, I still wanted to add the hide them when you get to the end. What is this? Okay. Um, and then I added an HR at the bottom just to make it even. This, it's no longer like looks balanced because it's 2 here and then 10 is the column. It's not centered. I'm going to leave it. I'll fix that next time. And I don't like how you I kind of wanted to make the link go to be this low on the page instead of at the top. Because if people have a smaller computer monitor, maybe it looks bad. Honestly, smaller looks better, eh? If people have a bigger computer, I don't know. I think it's fine. Let me add hiding these when, and then D none. Okay. How about that? My one page is back. We go back to page 1 and it disappears. Page 2, it's here. Yeah. We'll do the same thing for 65 on the other side. I didn't do the half overlaid because I honestly could not figure out how to do it. Can we just throw this all in line? I don't think that's too complicated, right? Or does it have to be like this? Because this doesn't know how long it works. Do you think this will work? I mean, the highlighting tells me it's not going to work. Yeah. Oh, I shouldn't hit stop. I just lost my stuff. Denon like that. I'm sure there's a better way to do this where I can break out and break back in, but I don't care enough to figure it out. We'll do it like this. Let me just add 60 real quick. And 64, 65. Bam. Beautiful. We're giving up on it being half indented because honestly, could I do that? No. Because this end 0, start 0 is how I'm controlling the left and right. I don't want to deal with it. I think it's all good to go now. Let's see this. Do I want to put the break? I think I do want to put this end horizontal rule for all of them. So that looks better. That's fine. All the indents are wrong because there's a double here. Let's look at the changed code if I remember how to do that. There's like GitHub view. We're pushing directly to master, obviously. View changes. I thought it was something here. View git. Come on. Oh, what is this? Dereference of a... Oh, these are all in the other one. Unboxing of a possible null value? No. I assure you it is not null. I have populated it myself. How do I view git changes? Manage branches? Nope, this isn't what I wanted. I want the thing that goes over here. What are these called? View git changes. Yeah, perfect. Let's do a quick review, shall we? Little code review session. We're now utilizing ID2. This is totally fine. Check. went from 8 to 10, added this, that's good. Added a div to wrap around everything. Kind of unnecessary, but fine. This new block for page book 4 looks good to me. We will end our div, add a HR, 10. All these changes are good. All of this is good. Let's enter in our commit message. Added Redman 4 book. Commit all. Staging, and committed locally. Now let's go to manage branches and let's do a fetch first to see if anyone else has committed any changes. They haven't because no one else has access. So let's go ahead and push this. Can I push? Hello? Dankeschön. And now we just need to refresh the data on the website. I do that via command prompt. Let me start up Docker. And then I showed all the commands I run last time. I'm not going to bother showing them again. I will just copy and paste them in, and the website will be good to go. Okay, super slow, but it's getting there. I've been recording for 55 minutes. I did pause it occasionally, but we'll say like an hour and a half worth of work is what it requires. If you were curious about how quickly programming is, that's how quick. Did I jinx it and just freeze it? That's awkward. Come on, 17 megabytes left. So here's the website live in production, and it looks good. It's got that like scroll issue that I talked about, but this was my vision. Whether it was a good vision or not, this is what I wanted it to look like. So this is how it looks. Crazy that it's only page 34 and you already get to see Meowth Castle. The like cadence of this book is so different than my other one that I wrote. Anyway, this looks good to me. We're going to assume 50 Ways to Die still works. Yeah, we're Gucci. And the link to YouTube still works as well. That's it. Another book written. Very awkward selection. Challenge complete.